Hello, I've only shared this story one other time on my channel, and that was a video titled Self-Defense in Chattanooga, and that was made several years ago, and this story is in the middle of that video, but this story is dedicated to the man that used karate and the martial arts I taught him to defend himself and save his family's life. Here's what happens. Several years ago, this man comes unannounced into my dojo, and he asked me if I could teach him karate. And I said, why? And he said, well, many years ago, you helped my son at the YMCA, and I thought if you could help him, you could help me. And I said, okay, sure, I'll teach you. This man is 6'5" and 350 pounds. And he was the only one in class, and I was beginning to start my teen adult classes at that time. And we started going through some basic karate for about 3 weeks. Well, on the third week, I started teaching him things like ear claps and palm strikes. And then after that class, he said, do you think I'm ever gonna have to use it? And I said, well, you never know. 3 weeks later, he did. Here's what happens. He's at his father's house, and it's 2 in the morning. His father's around 83 years old, and his wife's there, his son's there, he's there. And he hears someone come to the front porch, and they say, we're just gonna take the TV and leave. And he heard them through the door say that, because they got on the porch and you could hear the creaking of the wood steps, from what I understand, as he explained this to me after all what happened to him. So, whenever the attackers say what they say, my student says, you're at my father's house. If you come in, I'll be forced to defend myself. Now understand, he has no gun, he has no weapon, but they had weapons. So what happens is they break down the door, they bust the door open. The first guy has a machete, so he ear claps that guy and then hits him right in the gut with a punch. That guy goes down. Next guy comes in, he reverses it. He punches that guy in the gut, ear claps that guy goes down. The girl comes in with a bat. He gets the bat away from her, holds her down, police are called, they come and get the 3 bad guys. 2 bad guys and a girl. They get the 3 attackers and they take them to jail. The next day, the police come for my student. And when they come for my student, they said, first off, what did you do to these guys? Because they were in the drunk tank longer than if they were drunk. And he says, I only did what my sensei told me to do. And the police officer says, what are you, a black belt? He goes, no, I'm just a white belt. So they said, who's your sensei? So they give my name, and the police force, I'm sure, knows this story. And I've also taught police officers, by the way, before they were cops, while they were cops, even taught the head of the bomb squad for many years, right here in the city I live in. So anyways, what ends up happening is they take him to jail because those people press excessive force charges against my student. We're going to reduce it down to 1,000. The student goes to jail, and he has to go in front of the judge. So he goes in front of the judge, and the judge says, look, this $5,000 bond is ridiculous. So they reduce the bond down to $1,000. He's in and out of jail for about 6 weeks, and they finally drop all the charges. The moral of the story is, this man probably would have had less question asked if he would have shot the bad guys and killed them. And the other thing to think about is this. Now, I respect all martial arts. However, if he was involved with only a grappling martial art, how would it have fared for him if he had to defend against 3 different attackers? Because in the movies, they don't all take turns attacking you. And because they're coming through the doorway, he dealt with them as they came. And he had no weapons training, no disarmament training, but he knew he had to do whatever it took. And he was willing to do what it took to defend his family's life. And that's the story I want you to always remember about my student, and understanding that what I teach here is self-defense, but also I teach the art, I teach the lifestyle, and the sport aspect. Now, people look at the sport aspect of karate and they think, well, that's not really applicable to real life situations. Well, if you saw the katas in the Olympics, you'll see some of those techniques were really dangerous, and you can't use those. So even in the textbook I wrote, let me get that for you. Even in this textbook I wrote, I don't put in there how to strike people in the neck. I don't put in there how to gouge eyeballs out. And the reason why is I don't want to be responsible for what people do that I never even met. some of the things that's in there, which of course the ear clap is in my textbook, and it's a self-defense textbook. So people might think, well, karate is not real, you can't use it, it's da 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 da. I just told you a story about a man that saved his family's life. And this is not the only story I have about people protecting themselves. But this is a very powerful story that I want you to know, and I want you to share this video with other people so they realize that what we teach here at Green's Karate can save your life, and it has, in more ways than one, and more people as well than just this one man. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.